Trek 1-3. Hello, welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek podcast, where myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my co-host...
Hey, what's up? How's it going? It's Al Hirt.
My co-host Al Hirt and I get together just off Auto Row in Van Nuys, California, the sunny San Fernando Valley, to discuss an episode of Star Trek, the original series. Today, we're on Season 2, Episode 17. Before we get into it, Al, how are you doing? How is your... We're recording this a few days before Christmas.
Yes.
So how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Just my knuckles and my hands are sore. I was doing that rock climbing, bouldering stuff.
What?
Yeah, it was really interesting because... one of our friends invited us, and he was just trying to say, like, oh, it'll be a little casual. And there was 20 courses, 25 courses, and maybe 5 or maybe 4 of them were, like, level 0.
Well, yeah, like, I don't think
and then there was, like, all these pros there.
It was interesting. I don't think that rock climbing, nothing about the words rock or climbing seems fucking casual to me, right? Like, I mean, don't, like, no, like, there is no casual...
I went up to level 3, but then I stopped. You exert yourself, and you pass out.
You didn't do all 25 courses?
Oh, no.
Wow,
Of course not.
Wow.
There's some that are, like, 45-degree angles that are, like, concave, and you're kind of walking upside down and shit. You're like a snake or like Godzilla or something.
one of my uncles did free climbing, like some free climbing.
Oh gosh,
like free solo stuff, but not as intense, I don't think. Yeah. So that stuff terrifies me. I would do it in a controlled setting, like a gym.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I got a bad back. I got like a 75-year-old asshole's back. I can't do it.
Pretty chill area, though. The things that are cool, though, that's come out of that, there's been this treadmill that is just a bunch of rocks that you screw in, and it just keeps going, and people just try to go up it as fast as they can or last as long as they can. It's pretty absurd. It's like gotten to that high level.
I'd climb. I
like someone built that and engineered it.
Related, unrelated.
And sold it.
Related, unrelated. That's how I politely changed the topic like a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the Bob's Burgers about rock climbing?
Actually, I am rewatching Bob's Burgers though with my significant other. So
I don't know. Limp Bizkit, significant other, great album. I don't know what season it was, but there's an episode where Bob gets stuck in a sporting goods store, and to get out, he ends up having to climb up a rock wall.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
See, I don't know. Like, I feel like I meshed that with Family Guy and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
But I got to rewatch, like, all of those again. So it's going to be a treat. But anywho.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Speaking of crazy action.
Yeah, and
what was the episode before? Sorry.
No, that's fine. Last week, we discussed the Gamesters of Triskelion.
Oh, yeah. That
little
was...
brainies, little brainos. Little brainulite
gladiator thing.
Yeah, it's so funny because they got both gladiators and space brains into one episode. Yeah. It really worked.
Well, he looked like Dracula / like Shao Kahn from
yeah, that one guy, the lead.
What's it called? Or Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
and he like moves the skulls and shit.
The head thrall.
Yeah, yes, the head thrall.
We are thralls. There's a thralls. There was a character or a creature type called thrall in Magic the Gathering in the late 90s. People would make thrall decks. That was last week.
Yes.
And this week we're discussing a piece of the action.
It's just a straight Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. And this episode aired originally on January 12th, 1968.
Okay.
Which is probably 11-ish days after our episode releases. And the synopsis from from Shakespeare over at Paramount Plus is Kirk investigates a planet with an Earth-like 1920s gangster culture.
Okay.
And there it is. And it really so I saw the thumbnail for this.
Is there a B plot or no?
Not really.
Yeah.
I saw a thumbnail for this, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a time travel episode." Because I'm high, and I forgot that
Oh my gosh.
like I've seen this episode before in the past, and it's not a time travel episode. It's something a lot better. It's a gangster planet, which is a hilarious joke that they use and reference in Lower Decks and also Futurama.
Do you know what it reminds me of too? It's like old school Mafia Wars. It's like if everybody just never let go of that Facebook game.
Yes,
just kept playing it.
Before there were a lot, but that was the horrible genesis of the app games that sucks everybody's fucking lives
and
out of
Farmville and all that,
dude.
But it's like if everybody kept doing the Mafia stuff. I don't know. I think there's some what is it called? There's always an appeal to that whole culture and how what's it called?
I don't know.
I guess they get things done, quote unquote.
Yeah. So basically, there's a ship that disappeared 100 years ago, and the Enterprise is tracking down a transmission that they just received from that ship. Mm-hmm. And why are they getting this message 100 years after it was sent? Al, explain science to me.
Let me think. It was just because.
Wait, this isn't a quiz. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, go for it. Why does it take 100 years to get the fucking message from the horizon? Why didn't they just send it on a subspace channel?
Because it was from the past that it got sent. It was a horizon got flown out years ago, right?
Yes, and it's because they used conventional radio waves.
Oh my, that's right, right. Oh my gosh.
So it takes a long time. I was trying to serve it up to you.
Oh no, I
knock it out.
Now.
But yeah. And so they get to this planet where the Horizon, this Starfleet ship. I don't even think that Starfleet would have been around 100 years, but
yeah, that's why it's really bizarre and how they like finally get the message. Plus, how did they even receive it? Was it just because they were searching for those? No, they just got it.
It's just finally got to Federation space.
Yeah,
they, like to where a subspace station would pick it up and then get it to the Federation. So now Spock, McCoy, and Kirk are going to beam down to this planet, and they're in a hyperlift on the way to the transporter room, discussing like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Like, what they're basically saying this is before they called it the Prime Directive. They called it the non-interference rule or something. And so they're like
to let planets build naturally, I guess, right?
Yep, you weren't supposed to interact with planets that haven't become warp capable society.
Yeah.
Because that's when you got to come in and say, "Hey, don't go out there and be a dick right away. The universe is bigger than all of you." That leads to my favorite modern the Next Generation cast Star Trek movie. First Contact is fucking great. I can't wait to do the bonus episode for that.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna go down to the planet and see how the Horizon fucked this up. Like what they basically are saying the Horizon must have disappeared because of whatever contamination they did to the planet, and they beam down to a busted ass looking street with some newspapers and a fire hydrant.
Well,
and then
from the jump, they don't understand each other, and Kirk was like, Kirk's like, I'll, teleport down there. Actually, you know what? I'll just explain it to you when I meet you. Why don't you just give me your coordinates?
Oh, we totally missed that. Yeah. So basically,
that's what happens before.
When they get close to the planet, they reach out and they hail and they get...
It's through radio wave too, right? Yeah.
Where they're going to meet the boss, Bella. And I can't believe
boss.
I almost... So we've got it playing here and I can't... And I was talking about other stuff. But yeah, so they meet the boss over the radio and it's like, well, what the fuck is going on?
All the radio interactions are so awkward.
They're great.
And they just escalate too.
I love it. But then they get down there, the away team of Kirk and Spock and McCoy, they're going to go meet the leader of this planet, they think. And they immediately get held. They notice, first of all, that all the men are carrying Tommy guns.
Yeah.
And all the ladies are dressed like 1920s gangster ladies, gangster adjacent women.
Right.
And then they're immediately held up by a couple of gangsters who tell them to put their hands over their head, or you ain't gonna have no head to put your hands over. What?
Yeah, or that I want you to turn to stone, and Spock's like, what? What do you mean?
Explain that statement.
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
going to be very confused.
Cut to the theme. Now, so far we've got the crew. We've got Spock and McCoy.
The main trio.
And Kirk are on the planet that's clearly some sort of gangster planet.
Right.
And it has to do with this ship, the Horizon, a Federation ship from 100 years ago. Now, this is when we come out of the
It's
theme,
from an old signal, too.
Yep, that 100-year-old radio signal. Now, this is one of the rare title cards where it's not a shot of the ship.
Yeah.
When we come back from the
planet.
theme, it's at a piece of the action. They're being held up by gangsters, and we ain't. One of the great lines is he said, "We ain't playing for peanuts. Ask the boss. I don't know nothing." So this is basically second contact after 100 years, and these guys are gonna they take Kirk's equipment, they take their weapons, and they're gonna go meet. Actually,
And they immediately
Oxmix.
call them heaters, too.
Yes, it wasn't. Bella Oxmix is the boss that they're going to meet.
The first one.
Yep, and they call them heaters. They're Spock says, "So does everyone carry firearms?" And they say, "I never heard such a stupid question in all my life." And Kirk is like getting everybody back on track. Says, "Hey, Mr. Oxmix wants to see us, so let's go figure this out."
Yeah, it's very awkward. It's kind of reminiscent, though, of, the Purge episode and all that.
Yes.
And how just uncomfortable they all are. Just like you're getting accustomed to these weird
Customs.
Getting
accustomed to these weird
customs.
That's where that word comes from. Holy fuck.
Wow.
You didn't realize this was going to be an etymology podcast. And of course, before they get to go meet Bella Oxmix, they are shot at by there's a drive-by shooting, 1920s
and that's when the Peanuts line comes out.
Yep, and so they're basically looking for the contamination that would turn this planet into this. This guy, the guy who plays Kalo, let me see here. He is.
Yeah, Kalo.
They don't have him listed on the IMDb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, not in the ones that, and I'm not going to skip to another screen because. So these ladies are basically saying, "Hey, we pay for protection to Bella Oxmix. You gotta protect us and and help us out." And so basically, it's a gangster planet, and it's kind of shitty. It's the gangsters are not
Without
doing
a
a great job running the planet, as you might expect.
Of course, it's already fallen. I mean, it's been falling apart, right? And that's why. I mean, this is why the initial conflict between all the bosses comes up.
I would love to see the culture before the Horizon got there,
just to see the rise. But
and so this is when
maybe it's in the book.
You're absolutely right. So this is where we meet Bella Oxmix, the kind of who's played by Anthony Caruso, big time character actor from back in the day, and he's shooting pool and kind of explaining to Kirk and the boys what's going on. Kirk explains who they are. And go ahead.
What's an interesting detail, though, is that, he's playing pool by himself, but he's grabbing the cue ball every time. And it kind of just makes me think like, oh, well, they know what pool is. They just don't know how to play it, maybe. And maybe that's just like a small detail that like they fit in there.
Or,
because of like them just imitating what's we see and what we find out is in the book, which is like their Bible.
Great take.
Yeah.
I think you could also go further with it.
Or he's just playing with it and just messing with them.
Or he's like, I'm the boss. I can do whatever the fuck I want terms of like the rules of this game don't matter to me. That's representative of how he wants to take over all the factions.
Or they pick and choose, which parts of the culture they like, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they just read all the bad shit.
Which is very human of them to do.
Sure.
So basically, as Al mentioned, there's how this planet works is there's a bunch of territories that are all run by bosses, and Bella Oxmix runs the biggest one. And so he says, Bella basically Oxmix says, well, before that, they find the contamination. Explain it, Al. What's the how did the Horizon fuck this up?
One of their crew members left a book behind, and it was kind of like a history book, and it was the Chicago mobs in the 20s, and it was published in 1992. So it's kind of like an encyclopedia of like from then to now or whatever, but up to 92. So I guess they just had the 20s, probably.
Well, no, it's like those books that you would see in your
college things, you know,
in your middle school library. Like in your middle school library, there'd be like, maybe high school, but there'd be like
they even put a lesson about pool in there that would be irrelevant.
There'd be pictures of mobsters playing pool, you know,
right?
They
do
suits. They do mention later that it wasn't just this one book that was left behind. They also left technical manuals, and that's how they were able to make the thing that contacted the ship. And
the radio.
The radio, yeah. So basically, Oxmix he calls them feds, which is great. And he wants guns to take over the planet. He says, you got all kinds of fancy heaters up there, so here's the deal. You give me all the heaters I need, enough tools so I can knock off all those punks all at once, and then I'll take over, and all you have to do is deal with me. So he's saying that he wants to be the contact with the Federation on the planet, and it'll be way easier because they only have to deal with him, and they have to give him, he says, you got to give us heaters, phasers, and soldiers to use them and to teach them how to use them.
It's crazy how like this whole episode just ends up coming full circle around to this ending,
right? and so basically he says he's going to give Kirk 8 hours to get him that shit, and if he doesn't have those tools, he's going to call up his ship and have him pick you up in a box.
Bum, bum, bum.
And he says, is that understood, pal? And, you know, Kirk gets it, but Spock is probably like, what's he talking about?
So he's going to have to, like, bend himself inside a box?
Well, how big is the box, and why would that be terrible? Fade to commercial. So it's interesting because...
maybe during this time, boss movies and mafioso stuff was super popular, so maybe... the track writers were like, we got to hit this.
In 67, 68, 67, 68. I could see that. Yeah, that's the Frank Sinatra, the end of the, like, you know, Frank Sinatra is the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah, true.
And so let's talk a little bit about Bella Oxmix's office, because this is a set that we see off and on.
Set.
And it's funny because there's another boss. Oh, no, Lee Delano is Kalo. He's right there. There's another boss that we meet later, who's this guy Krakow, and he fucking rules. He's like one of my favorite incidental characters or like weekly characters yet. And his office is like this, but it's a smaller version of everything.
Yeah.
Like, so in Bella Oxmix's office, he's got a bunch of Tommy guns and pistols on the wall, huge carpet, pool table.
Nice table.
And in Krakow's office, it's only handguns. It's so funny. So...
yeah, it's just to show you the levels, Adam. They probably, again, just like a bunch of other episodes with the Apollo episode or the Purge episode, they just had a bunch of stuff left over from other sets and just pieced it all together. Because this fireplace and this whole, you know, wooden backdrop is really nice. Just to pull out of nowhere.
So I'm certain all of this shit was just on the back lot, like was just in the closet at Paramount.
Drafts. Yeah.
And so basically
that's what makes it so funny. Maybe Squire Gotho stuff.
Exactly. Yep. He's threatening to kill them if they don't get him the weapons that they need. And then there's a hilarious communication between Oxmix and the ship. And who does he talk to on the bridge?
Talks to Scotty.
Oh my God! Yeah,
he's like, hey, you, Scott.
So Bella Oxmix and Scotty are talking, and he talks like a total asshole to Scotty.
Yeah,
and he says, if you want to see your captain again, you're going to have to give us all 100 of these fancy heaters and the troops to show us how to use them. And Scott says, am I to understand you're holding the captain and his party? And he said, you heard right. I'm going to give you just 8 hours to give me the goods I want, or I put the hit on your friends. You understand?
Right. And he's like,
Scotty is like, I don't know.
No. And he just hangs up.
No
explanation.
then we get to Kirk and the boys are being held captive by some card-playing mafia people.
Yeah, and this is a strange interaction that comes up. They're talking about how the one book just set up a blueprint for their entire society and all that because of Chicago and all that. And how I did remember the small fact that apparently Chicago mafias were so powerful back then that they could just stop the cargo ships from coming in and out.
Oh,
and
dude,
they would literally
it was
stop
like,
the economy.
All
for
this
a
shit
while,
is all this shit
which
is legit.
Fucking nuts.
They controlled everything in Chicago and New York at different times in Las Vegas. And so basically they're trying to decide the crew, the away team landing party. They're trying to decide what the fuck are we going to do
to figure this out.
And because on the one hand, they can't further contaminate the culture, right?
No.
But Kirk is saying,
they're not going to give them 100 heaters.
Well, obviously not. So that's out. That's not even one of the options. But basically Kirk is saying, look, because the Horizon fucked this up and left these books here, it's the Federation's responsibility to straighten this out. And then Kirk is like, we got to get out of here. Yeah. And how they get out is one of these great Shatner sequences where they really let him off the chain and he gets to act like a fucking goofball. And he goes up to these card playing mafia folks and he's like, we're going to play a game called Fizbin.
Yeah.
And then Shatner really fucking hams it up. He's
the Corbomite maneuver vibes.
Exactly. He's making up this game as they go.
Absolutely insane. And I think he adds 12 rules.
Oh, dude. And he's like, you get these types of cards if it's dark on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And how would these be did they have calendars in the book that would show them?
And every time in this episode too, when he asks Spock to back him up, Spock is just like, well, I'm not sure what the odds are of this or that.
Spock starts to give him an honest answer, and then Kirk kind of nudges him mentally, and Spock then starts playing along.
Great.
And all of this is just a ruse so that Kirk can flip the card table and Spock can Vulcan mind pinch.
While they're
somebody.
playing, though, they play Fizbiz or whatever it is for a couple of minutes. Then he drops a card, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'll get it." Yeah. And it's one of many, Vulcan neck pinches that we see here. It's pretty dope.
They're the mafia, so they you'd like to think that they've had prisoners before.
Yeah,
well, these people weren't tied up; they're from space. There's one really good line in here.
Down.
There's a really good line in here where at one point he says, "We're going for a ride, and this can either be a taxi or a hearse. Get the idea?" Basically, Kirk gets kidnapped by rival gang.
Yeah, right.
So basically, Spock and Bones are left having escaped out of where they were held captive, but Kirk gets caught.
He's not out of the woods quite yet.
And so Kirk's taken to a rival boss's hideout, but before that, Spock and Bones get to a radio and they contact Uhura. They say, 2 to beam up, these coordinates, and here's what I'm confused about.
Okay. Yeah. What's up?
Because how they're I'm not a nitpicker. Somebody on Facebook, one of our fans on Facebook, Mr. Tim Silverthorne, shout out to Tim.
Oh, hey, shout out Tim.
That's gonna be funny. He was talking to somebody who said, "Hey, you might like this," and it's like a nitpicker's guide to Star Trek.
Oh my god!
And he was like, I don't think that I don't think they'd be into that. And he's right. I wouldn't normally nitpick things like this, but Spock says, "Beam us up at these coordinates."
Yeah.
But what? So they must be able to pinpoint the coordinates through the radio wave or something.
Dude,
because
I did actually wanted to talk about that earlier.
They're supposed to know where they're at by where the communicator is.
Right.
It beams up the number of people within a certain proximity of the communicator. But this time,
how they even got down in the first place when they go, "Okay, we'll meet you at this cross street," and Kirk's like, "Hey, give me the coordinates of that."
Well, then they look at a map. They look.
Right,
he looks through a thing and sees it and programs it in. Like there's a fire hydrant.
Yeah,
they call it. He goes, "There's a fire plug." Oxmix.
So I guess they visually see that time, but with these coordinates, what are you saying? That
I'm just saying, he just says these coordinates, and usually they would get the coordinates from the fucking communicator because they don't have communicator badges yet. Mm-hmm. So
that's why
I
Spock's using the radio waves, right?
I answered my own question. They probably pinpointed the coordinates through the radio waves somehow, even though I don't think they can do that. But so they basically beam up. They beam up, so they're saved, and Kirk is taken by Jojo Krako.
Yo,
and he looks and sounds like a Tim Robinson character. Tim Robinson of I Think You Should Leave and Saturday Night Live.
That's a good comparison.
He does a lot of really loud characters, and there's a particular scene with Krako later, but Krako is played by this character actor, Vic Tayback. And Vic Tayback was in all kinds of like classic comedies, and he was also in Bullet, and he did a voice in All Dogs Go to Heaven. So he's got this really
a show called Alice or something called
Alice, which is in the Mary Tyler Moore universe. I want to say, I could be wrong. But so this guy is like, so Tim Robinson is definitely aware of Vic Tayback. And I just feel like a lot of Tim Robinson's like mannerisms and voices are like just this motherfucker, and he's so great. He's
very like abrasive and out there, God. You know, in your face. You know,
hey, I'm Krako, Jojo Krako, boss, Southside Territory.
It's a generation of JoJo.
Exactly. Yes, it definitely like
alternate universe.
And so this guy is, you meet Krako, and he's throwing darts at a picture of Bella Oxmix that's got like bullseyes drawn on it. I think that's a good.
I guess one on his wrist and one on his face.
Shoot his trigger finger, on his trigger finger. So they call them. Cool. I love that they call them feds, and they are from. They're feds. They're from the Federation.
Feds, Well, remember
I'm a fucking moron.
Remember that quote that Kirk said? He was like, "A crime has been committed." And you're like, "Oh God, really? Are we gonna say that?"
Hilarious.
I forgot what the scenario was, but that's their justification.
So apparently, this Krako guy has had Bella Oxmix under surveillance, so he knows all about what's going on. And now this guy wants the heaters. That's basically it. Everybody just wants these heaters, and he says...
this is a very straightforward episode here.
And he says that I'm going to cut the Federation in on a piece of the action, a percentage. So basically Kirk is saying, look...
Why don't we just bring every boss together and talk about it like adults?
And... basically now this guy's got the exact same ultimatum as Bella Oxmix.
It's great.
Bring us the heaters or we kill you. So Kirk says, no, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to give you the heaters. Krako says, put him on ice, which means kill him. No, actually, it doesn't mean kill him. Lock him up. Put him on ice doesn't kill him. It's like put him in a safe house. Put him, stash him away.
If he was saying sleeping with fishes, that's the other thing.
Give him some concrete loafers. So Kirk is in an office, and I feel like this is the same office they used. This is the same office they used when they went back in time to
for the airbase.
For the airbase, absolutely. Kirk finds a radio that he can hack.
I guess.
Right?
He's a starship captain.
Yeah. And then there's a great shot of the Enterprise in space. Oh, remember the Enterprise? They're up there doing stuff.
Oh my gosh, this line is so great though. When Spock's like, this is just, this mission is, the computer is giving us no futile answers. And Bones is like, you're giving up? And he goes, no, it's just that the computer literally says that there's never been a scenario like this, nor will there be an answer from the computer. So we're pretty much just improvising here.
Right? And so then...
it's such a weird, bizarre scenario. It could have been a book about, like, Andrew Lloyd Webber's cats.
Right? Or it could have been about the Old West, and then they'd be Old West people.
Or samurais.
Samurais. I'm going to write a spec now where they go to Samurai Planet.
Hey, Westworld. There it is.
Yeah, they are. We've done that. Now, so Spock then gets a transmission from Krako, who says that he's put the bag on your captain and he'll scrag him too if he doesn't get what he wants. And Spock says, if I understand you correctly, that could be a problem. Fucking great Spock stuff.
Spock's very blunt.
Oh no, it's
inappropriate
Oxmix
too.
that's talking to him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Krako's put the bag on your captain, and Spock says, "Why would he put a bag on our captain?" And he kidnapped him, you dope. He'll scrag him too.
Yeah, people really put down Spock in this whole episode, you know.
Well, he's just saying he's going to kill him, and I just think this is where
like throughout too, because he lands later down on the planet, and they have pointy ears too, and they always point that out. And how he does take things very literal. It's a lot of fish out of water stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, he is also a fucking alien. So that will stand out. So basically, Oxmix is saying, you guys got something I want. I can help you get your captain back. You got to give me all the heaters.
It's like another third deal here.
The third deal. So let's go through the deals. The original deal was Oxmix and Kirk.
Yes.
You have to give us heaters in 8 hours.
Heaters, how to use
100 heaters, men to use them in 8 hours, or we're going to kill you. And all three of you. They get away.
1 hour passes.
1 hour passes. They escape, and Kirk gets captured by Krako. Bones and Spock get back to the Enterprise. And then
the second deal is by Jojo Krako.
Jojo Krako and Jojo. Jojo Krako makes the deal with Kirk. He says, I'm going to cut you in on a piece of the action, which is where we get the title of the episode. I almost missed that. I'm getting better at this fucking podcast 50 episodes in. And so then he makes a deal with Krako. I'm going to help you get Bella Oxmix, and we're going to get all the bosses together. And that's pretty much it. Bella Oxmix is saying, look, I'm not going to show any more hostility if you just get me what I need. And that's it.
Bones is like, you're just gonna trust him to just go back, and Spock's like, well, honestly, I don't think there's any other way. We're gonna get the captain here, so might as well.
Yep.
And he just goes.
And then we get to Kirk, and he didn't actually hack the radio. He used it to make he does like a Macaulay Culkin Home Alone style traps, where he uses the wire. And he wires up this stuff, and then a guy trips.
He throws a trash can down, and he goes, "Help!
Yeah,
help!
like he's having some kind of fit or spell.
Yeah, right.
And then the guard comes in.
Like, oh my gosh, are you?
Kirk knocks out 2 guards, gets a Tommy gun.
He covers one with a blanket too.
Yeah, he
does a little spin around,
like
some Tom and Jerry action,
like a bull, like a motherfucking matador.
Yeah.
And then Spock and Bones beam down, immediately get captured.
Yep, it's pretty straightforward.
They beam down to see Bella Oxmix. They immediately get captured. Again. And then at 27 minutes in here, there's a great line about cooperating.
Oh, yeah.
And one moment, is it after Kirk comes in?
Oh, no,
it's before. It's before. Hold on here. And he says, you're employing a double negative. And he says, I fail to see why you do not understand us. You yourself have stated the need for unity of authority on this planet. We agree. And he says, yeah, but I've got to be the unity. And he says, cooperation would eventually end up in, and then Oxmix says, the most cooperative man in this world is a dead man. And if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're going to be cooperating.
Jeez.
That's great. Fucking love it. Love it.
No, and then the double negative was nobody trusts nobody to do anything or to do nothing about themselves. Or
nobody trusts nobody to do nothing about nobody, nothing, no how.
Yeah, and Spock is like, I guess.
And then Kirk comes in with his freshly greased Tommy gun and saves the day. And this is where things take a turn for the funny, because now they're like, what are we going to do? And Kirk gets his suit size. He steals a suit from one of Oxmix's guys, and him and Spock dress up as gangsters.
Fresh.
They look very good fits.
Yes.
Great fits.
The sequence is great too when Kirk's trying to turn on the car.
Okay, so Kirk and Spock jump in a car that they're going to steal, right?
Yeah.
And so stupid that the owner of this car left their keys in the car on a mob planet. a planet based on crime, though.
True.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
And also, like, for how much history Kirk knows, I guess he wouldn't know the intricate details of how to start a car like this, but...
Well, I think that Kirk would have known how to start a stick shift because in motherfucking Kirk's childhood, in the J.J. Abrams ones, it shows him driving that Mustang or whatever to the Beastie Boys.
But he probably forgot the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
that was a phase.
This is later, too.
Yeah.
You know? But so Spock says, I believe they had a device known as a clutch. They're trying to learn how to use the stick shift. And I feel like Kirk talks about a stick shift in Star Trek 4 or something when they're riding with the lady doctor,
probably
the marine biologist.
That's 4, right?
Yep.
What
Voyage
was 3?
Home. Voyage Home. And so Kirk
3
is
was Christopher Lloyd.
Yes. The Genesis device.
Yeah.
Kirk, give me Genesis. So Kirk just drives like shit over to Krako's place. Mm-hmm. And they're gonna break in, and they need to bust in past these security guards. And there's like this street urchin kid who's a great. He's billed as tough kid, and his name is Sheldon Collins, and he's fucking great. And he's like, you got to cut me in on a piece of the action if you want me to help you do anything. Wait a second. Is he the one who said a piece of the action?
Yeah, he says a piece of the action. That's where I feel like first? I heard it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is where they got the title, not from earlier with Krako.
Yeah. I was going to say, when does Krako ever say that?
I thought he did when he was talking about he was going to cut in the Federation.
A piece of the action.
There we go. A piece of the action if we can pull this thing off. Is that a contract?
This kind of feels like akin to what's it called? Shoot. I don't know. I guess it's just whenever Kirk is trying to learn and catch on to the intricacies of
a new culture.
Of a new culture in any planet, and just weaving around different
He's adaptable.
sayings. Yeah.
That's funny because there's a version of...
There's got to be an episode where he does this,
There's a version of Kirk in Strange New Worlds that also is very adaptable. They go back in time, and he's really knows what he's doing.
So the Depression era. Yeah. There we
go. This kid offers to help them. Get in by distracting these guards. And he runs out and he's pretending to attack them. He's playing gangsters basically. Yeah. And they're like, hey kid, go back to your father, you dumb fucking kid.
Yeah,
and then the kid falls down you guys hurt me. What are you doing?
Papa, I want my daddy.
And then Spock and Kirk knock him out.
Yeah, and Kirk was like, what have you done to my boy? And punches him.
Great.
And Spock with the other neck pinch, just with the swoop.
Basically, they get to Krako.
They kind of just run all over everyone pretty much. There isn't really any oh my God, they're in danger.
And then there's just 2 more guys with guns that hold them up. There's so many times in this episode that they're held up. That just people appear behind them that have guns. They thought that they knocked out 100% of this guy's men.
All 2 of them.
And so basically, Krako is they're trying to convince Krako to get all the bosses together.
Yeah. And Krako's shaking his communicators and trying to figure out how it works and putting his ear up against it.
Yeah, putting the phaser up against his head.
Oh yeah, it's a phaser, yeah.
And so Kirk poses a question that says, look, we're going to get all the bosses together, and then the Federation's going to get a piece of the action. The Federation's taken over. They want to get all the bosses together, and then he's gonna pull the strings for whoever ends up being the leader of all the bosses.
Right.
So the Federation runs the place through the proxy on the planet.
But so this is back to the original idea, right? That what's his name?
Bella Oxsmith, but here's the thing.
Bella Oxsmith was more greedy, right?
Yeah, he wanted to be the one in control, and he ends up being the one in control. Kirk just gives him the fucking planet.
That's what I was saying.
We gotta talk about that.
This ending is fucking kaput. This buildup is really good, but...
And so basically Kirk is saying Kirk is doing this great thing where he's really acting like a mob boss. And he says
He's pretty much speaking their language, trying to convince, Jojo Krakow to, divide and split up the deal. How does he end up getting Krakow on the ship, though? Scotty beams him up.
He says, so right now, this is where Kirk is talking on the transporter, and he says, yeah, so you made a deal with Krakow, right? And Scotty is like, and Chekhov is like, yeah. And he goes, we're going to do it. We're ready to put on the hit. And then he goes, is Krakow with you? And he goes, yeah, in fact, Krakow's with me now. He's standing about 12 feet to my left. He's standing about 12 feet in front of me, all ready to be our pal. And then Scotty beams him up.
Yeah. And that's so bizarre, though, that, I guess they're trying to flex their might, to Krakow and scare him.
Oh, dude, it's great.
It's so bizarre.
And they beam him up, and Krakow in the transporter room is fucking great. And this is where he's the most like a sketch comedy character.
Yeah.
He says, I want to know what happened. And then he says, I got rights.
Yeah, and Scotty's
rights.
Looks like we put the bag on you, mister.
Right?
It's so silly, though. It's very in your face.
And then Scotty says, if you step out of line, you'll be wearing concrete galoshes. And Krakow goes, you mean, he goes, you mean cement overshoes? And he goes,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's all the same shit. It's all hard, heavy shoes. We get a lot of action. And then
there's a lot of fighting.
They round up all the bosses. And this is when Kirk basically, oh my God, they've got Krakow on ice. Keep him there until I send for him. And this is when Kirk is saying he's given the orders. What's happening here? They're just beaming everybody around.
Yeah, they're just messing with them more and just showing more of their might. But Spock has the Tommy gun on Bella, right?
Yep, on Bella Oxmix. And they're beaming the other bosses in here. That's what it is.
One by one.
And so basically they're calling the other bosses, and then they're beaming them in one by one.
And they're all holding Tommy guns against each other.
Yep. And then they got Kirk. That's when Kirk jumps up on the pool table and says, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be run under one roof. You're going to run it like a business.
And at this point, he is totally winging it, Kirk.
Yep.
He's just completely off the books, not even corporate maneuver. He is just trying to be, completely, generally not honest, but trying to play into, their terms of their playground. Culture. Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to put because he feels like the Federation is responsible for Crime Planet. And he's like, we're going to make it so, yes, they're still gangsters, but they're going to be a functioning society.
If you can't beat them, join them.
And he says, I'm cutting the Federation in for 40%. And then this is where
and then this is when it's like a 12 Angry Men kind of situation when the one guy's like, wait, but I got doubts when they took Krakow up. How many guys were there?
And and then Krakow even says, I only saw 4 guys on that ship.
What if that's the only crew? Where is this Federation? And Kirk pulls him up by the collar, right? And he's like, there's 400 people on that ship.
Here's something that I never think about.
But why does Kirk tell them all that, Just freak them out?
Well, here's something I never think about. The phasers on the ship are phasers, just like the phasers that they hold.
Well, thank God
they
he
use
said
them on
stun.
They can shoot. You're telling me you can phaser a stun phaser from fucking orbit?
Yeah, that would probably solve a myriad of problems in Star Trek. Well, in this episode, right? Again, this is because Krakow's boys are trying to make a hit on the place where they're all at.
So now all the bosses are in a meeting. Krakow's boys show up. They're having a shootout.
This is going to be my territory now.
And then
go ahead.
Kirk contacts Scotty and says, do it. And what happens, Al?
He uses the phasers and he sets them to stun and just stuns the whole block. He says, hey, just shoot this within a block radius. And it was 20 people just collapse. And Krakow's like, oh my God, are they dead? And
they should definitely do that more often.
No. I know, that's what you're saying. It's it feels like Apollo's, or what is it, Apollo's Wrath all over again?
Yes.
Or Who Mourns for Adonis?
Yes.
Where they just shoot a beam at the fucking building to just destroy his power source or whatever.
So the
But
reason
it just feels like they should use that more.
and exactly, they should stun everybody more.
Yeah.
From orbit.
With Purge. The Purge episode, that would have helped.
I feel like they couldn't contact the ship in that one for some reason.
Maybe.
But basically, he's saying that now Oxmix is saying, look, I think that maybe there should just be one boss. And he's just trying to get what he's always wanted. But the reason they had to phaser everybody in the street is I wanted to get this out before we move on.
Yeah.
The Federation needed to prove its might.
Right.
So they're saying, we can knock out a whole fucking block. We'll do this if you don't give us our 40% cut. And that's when Bella Oxmix is like, okay, I see the wind's turning.
But also Bella's like, but there's got to be only one because, like, he hits me, I hit him, we hit each other. Like, we're losing too many men here.
And then Kirk says the Federation can't get connected with all these small-time operations. Bella, I figured you'd be the top boss, and Krakow, you'd be his lieutenant, and the rest of you, I don't want any trouble from the rest of you because you'll have to answer to the Federation.
So, dun, 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 dun.
So basically, Kirk just gives this planet to the villain who got them in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, this is given like Star Trek 1 vibes, of just like, oh, we might have found a new life form, Captain. Oh, just mark these 2 cadets as missing and we'll call it a day. I got the Enterprise back.
Yeah, Kirk. So at the end of this, it's Spock and Kirk and Bones. And Spock is not super stoked about how Kirk resolved it because Spock is the surrogate for us in this moment.
Yeah, definitely.
He says, I do have reservations about your situation with the Iosians. That was the name of the mobster planet.
Yes, exactly. They're Iosians.
And Kirk says, you don't think it's logical to leave a criminal organization in charge? And Spock is like, well, highly irregular to say the least. And Kirk says, Spock brings up a good point. He says,
with all these promises that he's keeping,
how is the Federation going to come and collect their 40%? Like, how do we explain to Starfleet Command, you got to send a ship out here every year to pick up 40% of this mafia cut?
Whatever it is.
And Kirk says, we're going to reinvest that in the planet, basically. He says, I propose their cut be put into the planetary treasury and used to guide the Iosians into a more ethical system. And he says, despite themselves,
we're going to build libraries.
This is great because he says the last thing, he says, despite themselves, they'll be forced to accept conventional responsibilities. Isn't that logical?
Oh my God. Maybe,
Kirk's
I guess.
Face.
Yeah, it's just like.
He knows Spock doesn't buy into it.
No, of course not.
And then Kirk says, hey, Bones, in the language of the planet, what's your beef?
Oh, and Bones is already like staring off in the space, worried about something else. And he's like, well, I don't know, Jim. I'm not sure how serious this is. And I'm not sure how to tell you, but Kirk's like, go ahead. But, of course, Bones goes in all the confusion, I left it in Bella's office. And he goes, what? You left it? And he goes, what? You left what? A communicator. I left my communicator in Bella's office, Kirk. And oh my gosh, dude.
And then Spock says, if the Iosians are very bright, imitative people who take apart they find out that the translator, how it works, that's the basis of all of the Federation technology.
Serious? It's the whole percent. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the whole bit, the reason why Kirk's mad is because of, if the Iosians find out about the communicator, they're giving away their whole percentage. They'll have the upper hand on the feds.
The Iosians are going to come for a piece of our action. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Cut to the ship taking off.
Yeah, this feels like a miniaturized version of them just fucking a planet up.
One thing that I forgot to mention is they say that the Iosians, before we see the book and shit, they say the Iosians are a very imitative culture.
Right.
So then it's like an imitative culture. Those are the last people you would want to find a book about the mob.
Yeah. To attribute all those cultures too.
Dude, I thought I was going to hate this episode because it really felt time travel-y. Like I was worried, but it's not. It's a gangster planet and it's fucking a one-off isolated thing. It spawns all these questions like what was Third Contact like when they went back 50 years later? Like if the Cerritos, the crew from Lower Decks, like if they have to go do a follow up to see like what the gangster planet is like now. All the character actors that they had in it, all the mob people, all the sets. I really fucking dug it, man.
Yeah, how many Tommy guns would you give this? Or fedoras?
That's it. I said Tommy guns. So if we're getting right to the ratings, I would say that I would give this 4 Tommy guns.
Really?
Yep. I was very entertained. I laughed a lot. That guy saying, "I got rides."
Yeah, right.
What about you? What'd you think?
The structure itself was bizarre. Because it was like you said, we were like, okay, they got captured. They got another deal. Okay, here we go. We got captured and here's another deal.
Captured deal.
But it was funny how it was very, straightforward and streamlined like that. But it was ironic that it ended up, what is his name? Bella ended up getting exactly what he wanted from Kirk in some fashion. And this feels like, too, where, as I mentioned before, that with the Purge episode or the episode with the little kids, right? Where Kirk is like, oh, we'll just send a bunch of Enterprise stuff there, bodies, and they'll learn how to be ethical. They'll have to learn. Yeah, just because we're the Federation.
They really need to send Federation people
stuff.
They really need to send Federation people to check on the Iosians sooner rather than later.
Right, and it's ironic too because like a lot of these episodes end with the whole crew laughing, on the bridge. But at this point, Bones is worried because he really fucked up. And Spock is like really, not nervous because he doesn't have any emotions. He's just like telling it how it is. And Kirk's just joking around.
Spock is not amused.
No, not at all.
And I really
give it. Oh, sorry. Let me give.
Go ahead. Give your rating.
I would give it like a 3.5 out of 5.
That's good.
Yeah,
not bad. Better than average.
I think it was better than average because it was really funny, but it was just like the structure that threw me off.
I think that the acting was very good, and Kirk or Shatner having to you really felt like Shatner was like stepping up his game around all these big character actors,
the
like
the
Fizbin, the game, and just him going through the rules, and even like how he had that kind of like kind of a sprightly looking trickster face at the end here when he was like, they'll have to accept a more civilized society. And Spock is just like frowning at him. And Kirk's goes from smiling to frowning himself. It's just like Shatner really had a lot to do. And it was great to see them in suits.
Yeah, that was true. I mean, seeing Spock and Kirk. Bones didn't dress up though, huh?
No, but there is a great shot of Bones wearing his Enterprise uniform, and he's holding a Tommy gun, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, I bet they had a lot of fun on set with those Tommy guns just sticking around.
So that's it. That's a piece of the action. Episode 17 of season 2 of Star Trek: The Original Series. Al, what do you recommend? This is going to come out at the beginning of January. What do you got?
Let me think. Well,
we
were watching Bob's Burgers. Actually, yeah, I would just say Bob's Burgers and just watch Godzilla.
Yeah, we're still talking about Godzilla -1. I can't remember if we talked about it on previous.
Oh, we
must
for sure
have.
did.
Yeah, it's great. There's a new season of Reacher.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or big guy just like beats people up. Reacher doesn't like cops. I'm into it. And also, Godzilla -1 at this point has been in theaters for almost 4 weeks. Right. It's made like $65 million. It's fucking great. So there you go.
It's coming out in January. Let's like review the year. Like, what did you think has been the craziest thing you've heard this year? Best movie?
Oh, but Godzilla -1.
Really? Hands down?
Yes. Godzilla -1 for movies.
Dungeons and Dragons. There's Super Mario.
I mean, Godzilla -1 is definitely the best movie I saw this last year.
For sure. Like, I mean, special effects wise too, easily. And story.
It was great. But I think that other good things from this and in the contemporary MonsterVerse, that Monarch show ain't bad.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's pretty good. But for music, I really liked King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards' Petrodragonic Expanse. That's a great fucking record that my wife and I got turned on to this year. And then for TV, I mean, I can't even. I'm on the spot. I can't think of all the good TV that we watched this year, but it's definitely out there.
Well, I mean, I can't wait for our season review already too. We're about halfway through, right?
Yeah, we're over halfway through.
And the Tribbles was a big highlight.
Yep, Tribbles was great. What was your big? And also. I went when I saw Postal Service and Death Cab. That was like the best concert I went to this year. It was very good. What about you? What were your highlights for the year?
For the year. I don't know. Best movie? It would probably be the Godzilla, especially 4D. That was insane. That was like a completely different experience. Not to nail it on the head, but and then I guess best music. There's just been a lot this year. A lot of good hip hop, some good electronic stuff. And mainly just, it's funny that people just, a resurgence of records and like DVDs have really been popular.
Under Gex came out this year, didn't it? Or was that last year?
Oh, no, I think that was last year. Yeah. But it was still pretty good. I saw them live too. That was a pretty fun show. I'm trying to think, I don't know, probably G. Jones, Paths. That's a really good album. If you hear anything, that one's pretty good.
Right on. Yeah, 2023 was not bad. I had a good time doing the podcast. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to 2024, and maybe next week's episode we'll talk about some shit that we're looking forward to this year, because there's definitely a lot of it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to a lot of movies like the new Ghostbusters. Read a list
or something. Yeah, speaking of, that new Ghostbusters, it sounds like a DLC or something.
Yep, right? This is going to be great. Well, so thank you for listening.
Oh, yes, Trek of course. In the Valley. Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good January. Happy New Year. I think this might be the first episode you're listening to in January, so thanks for for coming out. And thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much, guys.
Appreciate and subscribe. Do all the stuff in the bumper. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Come back next week where Al and I will discuss the immunity syndrome. Thanks again, and Happy New Year. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials, and you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.